Those of you who follow the stock market closely will know this has been a rather tumultuous week. Monday we had an enormous stock market fall, followed by a recovery. One of the amusing things, though, is how it affected some Frankenstein products on the stock market. Now, let me put it this way. If your investing strategy involves utilizing or investing in funds that have complicated names or, long string symbol formulas or some reference to Greek alphabet letters, then there's a strong chance you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're playing with, and it's probably going to blow up in your face. Beautiful example. There's a thing which trades on the market with the code XIV. The full name is, and let me get this exactly right, the Velocity Shares Daily Inverse VIX Short-Term Exchange Traded Note underpinned by Credit Suisse. My God, what this thing is, it follows an index called the VIX, and VIX measures volatility, and when volatility rises, this thing gives you an inverse return. Therefore, you are short volatility. Therefore, you make money if the markets are calm. Still with me? So the VIX is a notional thing based on the index S&P 500 volatility. That's the sense that investors and traders have of the extent to which the stock market's going to be moving up and down a lot. In recent years, all you need to know is that in recent years, volatility has been on the decline. The market's been quiet, it's been steadily going up a little bit every day. So one of the best ways to make money recently has been to be short volatility. In other words, to own this XIV thing, even though it's supposed to be only held for days, intraday. You've done well if you've held it for a long period until Monday. And in addition to making money on this thing, you'll be able to say to your friends around the braai, whoa, boy, I'm really killing it in the market at the moment because I'm short vol. Like, how cool does that sound? Anyway, on Monday, this thing got absolutely crushed. Suddenly, out of the blue, the market's plunging. Volatility is spiking. And when I say spiking, going from like 10 to 100 in a couple of minutes. And this XIV thing is going from 150 to 0 in a couple of minutes. So people getting absolutely crushed and carried out. Also, only to find that in the small print of this damn thing, Credit Suisse has a note that says if it gets terribly unstable, they reserve the right to basically terminate the product. So in a couple of hours, it went from having aggregate assets, units in issue, of nearly $2 billion to being out of here, out of the market, gone. People who had that clever strategy basically carried out in stretches. But as my friend Ed Borgato was joking on Twitter, I mean, how on earth are people supposed to invest for their retirements if you can no longer find a reliable way to short volatility? El Chapo Guzman. You've heard of him. He's a notorious 63-year-old drug lord from Mexico. Key guy in the movement of cocaine from Colombia via Mexico into the United States of America. He's been arrested a number of times and he always escapes, usually by paying off the guards. In any event, he got extradited, captured and transferred to a US prison recently and is awaiting trial by jury at some point in the next couple of months. But you understand how jury duty works in the United States of America. You get selected at random. Unless you've got a good excuse, it's compulsory. And the trial could take days or weeks or months or even years. Now, in this instance, Guzman, who, like I said, is an extremely nasty piece of work, made a statement this week via his lawyer offering, promising not to murder all of the jurors that are going to be represented and trying him. Wow, what a generous offer. I'm sure those people must be absolutely thrilled and grateful. And now they're all in protective custody. Right, like everything else, the Trump administration is, how shall we say, making it up as it's going along. Donald Trump would have you believe that the White House is operating like a well-oiled machine, whereas the old joke goes, it's more likely operating like a well-oiled Charlie Sheen. In any event, here's another example. The US Congress, in some investigation into shady Russian business operators, mandated officials in the US Treasury to come back within a certain number of days with a report on who exactly it was in Russia that was accused of being an oligarch, in other words, having levered potential political connections in order to make big money and then export it globally. But instead of doing some proper research, officials in the Treasury basically resorted to the schoolboy project method. That's right, they lifted an article from the internet. And in this case, they took verbatim, with the pictures and everything, a Forbes magazine list of the 200 richest Russian business people and then handed that in, just like that. Well played, guys, well played. As I've noted many times before, the best blunder stories come from China. I don't know why it is, but the recently urbanized Chinese people, it's like they've just woken up and they're having fun and doing things, and it's all online. So here's a video, for example, of a man who decided to have an eating contest with his dogs, okay? So you can see he gets started and things are going quite well. He's not doing too badly. He's getting it down. But the dog looks like he's starting to get a little ahead of him here. And there you go. The dog, no, I think the dog's got it.